Hey, med spa owners, most of your EMRs are set up to include this question when somebody books an appointment. I think this is a massive mistake. I'll explain what it is and why in this video. You may be spending money on marketing and advertising to reach and acquire new patients to your practice, right? Whether that's Google Ads, Facebook and Instagram, people coming in, finding you from organic search on Google, all sorts of ways people find you and decide to schedule that first appointment. So they've weighed their options, they've explored multiple med spas, they've browsed the websites of other businesses and scrolled the Instagram profiles of your top competitors, yet they've chosen to schedule that appointment with you. And then you send them this text. So most of your EMRs are designed to include this text leading up to the appointment. And it looks something like this. I actually just got this text for a endodontist appointment. And it reminded me of this issue that we have with our clients in the med spa space. So Richard, our records indicate you have an appointment scheduled for 4/1, which as of filming this is tomorrow at 11:20. Please reply C to confirm or R to reschedule. If we do not hear from you within 8 hours of your scheduled appointment time, it will be canceled. Thank you. I think this is one of the craziest things that's built into your EMR. And let me explain why we believe that to be the case and what we recommend doing instead. So, most people, when they make a decision to schedule an appointment, they're not 100% convinced it's absolutely undoubtedly the thing that they want to do. They might be on the fence about getting treatment at all. They may have explored multiple providers. They may be wanting to kick the can down the road. There are a lot of reasons that people may hesitate to actually book that appointment. So I don't remember what book it was that I was listening to, but somebody had this idea of everybody has a different buying sensitivity. So let's put that on a chart 1 through 10. Some people, all you got to do is get them to a 7 to purchase. Some people, you got to get them to a 9. Some people that are really sellable, you maybe only have to get them to a 4 or a 5, for example. But there are all these there's a different calibration for each prospect on what gets them to actually take the next action in your purchasing funnel. So one of the goals of marketing and advertising it should be to reduce friction to get people to come in the door for that first visit. And once people have already weighed their options and made the decision to schedule an appointment with you, I think it is ludicrous to present them as a 50-50 proposition, the option to either basically not take this appointment and cancel it or reschedule, or to confirm. This text message presents the confirmation of your appointment as a 50-50 proposition. It asks you to remake the purchase decision all over again. So if that person had any doubt in their mind as to whether or not they wanted to proceed with this appointment, you've just given them the invitation on a silver platter to say no, or by default, well, you know what? Yes, I was thinking about getting Botox, but maybe I should do some more research, or I don't need to do it this week. Okay, well, they said if they don't hear from me, they're just going to cancel the appointment. You've now left the default position as your appointment's going to get canceled. The onus is now on the prospect to have to go out of their way to confirm that they actually wanted to do what they already told you they wanted to do, which was schedule an appointment with your practice. So I think this is a very silly thing to include in your automation drips, especially for new patients. Now, if you've got a relationship already with an existing patient that's been with you for months and years, that's totally fine, maybe, because the relationship's already established and we're now just trying to figure out, are we on, are we off? But I really think this is a crazy thing to do, especially with new prospects. Once somebody already made the decision to book with you, our only job is to get them as excited about that appointment as possible, not to ask them if they're really sure they wanted to schedule the appointment. We are inviting cancellations, and specifically with this type of text, no-shows. So what we recommend is having a really good, what we call show-up sequence drip that goes out to your prospects prior to their appointment time. This episode is brought to you by Med Spa Magic Marketing, my agency. We help med spas and aesthetics practices grow with more effective marketing strategies. And I know that's a vague phrase, right? It's a vague claim. So I have an offer for you. I offer this to any new prospects. If you're interested in exploring another marketing option, a new agency, or just getting into Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads for the first time, I'd love to show you why we're different, what we're doing for clients. And we can do that via a 1.5-hour planning session where I'll outline a specific marketing plan and I'll give you all of the blueprints that we would implement if we were to do business together. Now you can take that, use that on your own, hire someone else to help you execute it, or work with us. We really don't hold anything back on that strategy call. And I think you'll have a lot of confidence in how you manage your marketing investment moving forward, understanding some of the nuances that can help you implement more effective marketing strategies for your business. So if you want to do that, you can go to medspamagicmarketing.com. I'm going to pull up a screen share on the other screen here so I can kind of just walk you through what that generally looks like for us. And there are different ways of doing this. We've got our own little blueprint, but I want to give you like the best practices for how to build a good show up sequence drip for new patient acquisition. So let's go ahead and pull this up and I'll give you the tidbits. So principle number one, I would say, is we just want to confirm the appointment and tell them we're excited to see them. So the first message that goes out in terms of timeline, A, is we're relying heavily on text messages for these reminders. Email tends to get lost in the shuffle. With text messages, we ensure nearly 100% delivery and that our prospects are going to have eyes on the messages that we send. So heavily rely on text is step one. So we are going to tell them as soon as they book the appointment that the appointment is confirmed, and then we're going to add some social proof to get them excited about doing business with us. A welcome video, a link to your Google reviews, an invitation to follow you on Instagram. If you can build those things into those first touch points, I think that's to your advantage. So include who you are, the address, the appointment time, and the confirmation. Okay. So we recommend a pretty aggressive drip. So 10 days before the appointment, 5 days before the appointment, 2 days before the appointment, day before the appointment, and perhaps even same day of the appointment. So pretty aggressive with that show up sequence drip. And the entire time, we're just going to get them excited about the appointment that they've already decided to make. When we give them the option to opt out, generally when we do that, in the first message we send, we'll add a little note at the bottom that says, please note, we have whatever cancellation policy. If we do not receive notice of cancellation, you may be charged, or you will be charged $50 cancellation or no-show fee. So most likely you don't have their credit card info. You're not going to be able to enforce that, but it's just at least a note that we're confirming the appointment, but we do have this cancellation policy kind of as an addendum to the text. In text message 2, we say, if you need to reschedule, please let us know. But the first part of the text says, hey, blank, this is just a reminder. We have you confirmed for appointment date. We're so excited to meet you, right? If you need to reschedule, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll plan on seeing you then. Big change in the default communication style. In the message I'm showing on my screen, the default is, if we don't hear from you, your appointment's canceled. In my version of the text, if we don't hear from you, we're expecting to see you. And that's going to lend itself to a better show up rate and more people getting across the finish line. So 5 days before, 3 days before, same type of thing. We're just telling them we're excited to see them. You can remind them of the cancellation policy again a couple days out. So confirm the appointment. We're excited to see you. If for any reason you need to cancel, please cancel within 24 hours. So you're inviting people to cancel if they need to, but that's not the default of the conversation. And I think that simple shift in your show up sequence drip that you're sending out to your prospects will increase the amount of people who are actually showing up for the appointment, because we're putting the onus on them to cancel, and we're assuming the default is that the appointment is on, that we're going to see them in our office. Implement that in your show up sequence drip if you can, and let us know how it goes in the comments below. I think that can make a big difference for your business.